Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Andy. Well, Sport Sedans out on the racetrack at the moment. This is their 8-lapper, the Suttons Motors sprint race. Here's how they line up. Keith Carley in the Nissan 300 ZX off pole over Barry Jamison's Ford Falcon. Third is Des Wall in the Supra. David Attard, Mark Stinson are the next two in the queue. Then Graham Smith, Ivan Mikak, Robert Tweedy, Peter Conyers and Richard Shaw. That's the top 10 as Jamison gets off the line very smartly. Carling withdrawing from this one. So the pole sitter is out, and already Jamison and Wall are up there very smartly indeed, and also David Attard. They go screaming through here, down into the right-hander at Dunlop Loop.
Well, the V8 boys are in control. There's the heavy hitters up the front. Sweep through Dunlop Loop in the first of 8 tours. And a very pack of fairly heavily modified cars at the back, but this is where the action is. Bob Tyndall's Holden Commodore being driven by David Attard today. Des Wall in second position. And Barry Jamison in third as they head up towards Stop Corner for the first time. Huge field.
Yeah, plenty of different shaped cars, different marks. They come out of the late corner up towards Sutton's Motors turn. And now back onto the start-finishing straight.
Big horsepower.
Sure.
Not so much weight.
Look at Attard here, and he's leaving a gap open as Jamison comes up on the inside. Jamison trying to force his way through. He's been shuffled back to third as they come through there.
They really are beautifully turned out cars. 6-litre fuel injected Chevrolet V8s. Cars that resemble, I guess, a Commodore Supra and a Falcon EB. Under the skin, very, very different.
Oh, this is grave under
Look at
brakes.
Des Wall. Side by side as they come out up the back straight. Very brave under brakes by Des Wall, but he did it quite comfortably in the
Fair
end.
and square, did it fair and square, Mark, for sure. Yeah.
Beautifully turned out Supra, the new paint job. The red, black and silver, stunning colour scheme.
Look at Jamison up here on the inside of Attard as they go across the line.
Don't these things shake the ground when they come
They
past?
certainly do. We've seen the action of the Peter Jackson Dash, and now another group of V8s providing plenty of entertainment in the Sutton's Motors Sports Sedan Sprint here today. Oops, and we've had one round. That's Jamison in 45, was running third, trying to kick it, get going again. He'll pick these lot up as soon as he gets it straight. 79 going through as well.
So Des Wall takes over the reins. David Attard moved up to second position.
One of the dilemmas in this class, Mike, is that the people in charge of the engineering spend all their time under the bonnet, and won't say ignore the handling of the car, but I think that tend to think that horsepower is the be-end and the end-all, when in fact a good chassis on a circuit like this will pay huge dividends, and moderate power of a consistent nature is all that's required. What we're seeing here is a bit of too much power being used just in the inappropriate manner, and the cars are going around like tops.
In other words, the priority was horses and not handling.
A little bit.
There's Jamison fighting his way back through the pack. Car number 45, that's Barry Jamison's Falcon EV. Somewhat modified, somewhat lowered. Straight down the inside there. That was an expensive lock-up up in the approach to the loop. So he's got a lot of work to do.
He's already fought his way back up to fourth. He's got a clear piece of track. This car 75 leaving the circuit. Bob McDonald from the Alfa Romeo Owners Club. And Bob looks like he's hanging there for a while. Meanwhile at the front, Des Wall and David Attard. Very strong performance. The 6-litre Chev Holden Commodore. He's made up a fair bit of ground on Des.
4 laps to go.
This is the ex-Brian Thompson Toyota Supra that was so effective in Sports Sedan and GT Championship a few years ago. Originally, I believe, was the Bob Jane Chev Monza, which was stretched and re-skinned as a Supra, so it's amazing how many times these cars are reincarnated.
Really? Well, when they start with a space frame underneath it and then just able to drop the fiberglass down on top of it, I guess it does lend itself to a certain degree of creativity.
David Attard keeps the pressure on Des Wall as they come along the short straight. The Sutton's Motors corner again. Across the line, 3 laps to go. Wall still trying to defend that lead over David Attard. Here's Attard making his move up on the inside. This will be tight, but Wall is there first. Now across to the right-hand side of the road. He takes it in fairly deep there. Car handles very well through them. We've had the fire marshals off there to the right with the number 75 car that we mentioned earlier.
Bob McDonald is out of the car, obviously, but bit of foam being sprayed around there, possible fire on board. Des Wall still holds onto the lead.
Attard was able to get a little closer last lap round, but in this part of the circuit, I tell you what, the Wall's machine is able to get out here. It lights up the bags. One of the slower guys signaling.
That wasn't exhaust fumes going up behind that Supra, mate.
That just gives you an example of the enormous performance potential of these cars. Over 600 horsepower. They're restricted to a 10-inch rear tyre. And around a track like this, it really is a sort of a point and squirt sort of driving style.
Testing, I think, is the word. Testing.
They do run very strongly, very competitively, and quite consistently in the park. We often see them here.
53.
Laying down a bit of a smoke screen. Make things a little bit slippery for the guys coming through. There's enough going down on the track, but they've got through quite safely. Black flag being held out for car 30. David Filippetto. Can't see David at this stage.
It could well be noise.
Yes, we're under the EPA regulations here, and it's hard for the fellows to consistently stay under 95 decibels. It's quite a low level.
Last lap board out for Des Wall as he crosses the start-finish line. 1.9 kilometres to go.
He's opened that gap up over David Attard to go to the top of Bitchapave again. The exit to Dunlop Loop. I tell you, he doesn't really get out of the throttle there. He just gives a little bleep and...
He goes in wide with the intention to be able to really slingshot himself down that little short straight. You can see there he's quite comfortable through the left-hander, I beg your pardon, through the right-hander.
Des Wall, the exit, and the run down to the lake corner for the final time. An interesting Sutton's Motor sprint race for the sports sedans. Whoa! Gets it. Lights up the tyres again. Comes up to the final corner now. And here he comes. A little sideways out of there, but across the line, and he'll taste victory. David Attard will pick up the second as they get across the line, and they put a huge gap over the rest of the field. And I think you'll find that Barry Jamison will finish third. The show race score tells us Wall the winner. David Attard second, Barry Jamison third. Mark Stinson finished in fourth place, and Graham Smith was fifth. Back at Amaroo in just a moment.